everybody, and welcome back. How are you? Hope you're having a good day today. So, Miss Chantal did another video, and she just dropped it a few minutes ago, and I just took a peek at it. She's doing another food video, and she was talking about her dreams of going to Disney World and even justifying some of the stuff that she's been doing on YouTube. So I have some thoughts, and I want to share my thoughts with all of you. We're going to start out on Twitter. I'm going to show you a couple of things on Twitter, and then we'll move on to the video, and then we'll just wrap it up. But I hope everybody's been having a good day, and you continue to have a good day. And don't be afraid to leave your comments and opinions about Chantal in the comments, and sub up if you want to. So let's just start out with everything on Twitter. Okay. There isn't much to show. I mean, because she literally just dropped the video. She did another food video, the spaghetti video. I really didn't want to react to it because I'm not really wild about her food content, to tell you the truth. It's boring to me. It's repetitive. You know, when there's really not much to talk about, why talk about it? But here we go. This is from Michael B. Petty, saying she literally went cross-eyed biting into the fast food. She is never going to change. She's going to eat herself into an early grave, all from the top of the cardboard box wrapped in plastic, living the life. You know, vintage foodie beauty, when she would eat the fast food, she would have some honest reactions to the food, the moaning and the eye rolls, all of that. I'm wondering if she's faking part of that these days just for views. I have noticed that foodie has been very heavy in trying to bring back a certain kind of crowd to her channel. She's trying to bring them back by doing the fast food content. She's bringing them back by doing the clothing try-on hauls. I did a community post yesterday, and I expressed my thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the matter, that I felt that haul really wasn't for her regular viewers. That was really aimed at the people who are there to see her eat as much as possible. Back in the day when Foodie did her torrid hauls, she would often buy clothes that were immediately 3 sizes too small. And I noticed that one item of clothing in every haul was the correct size, and that was the clothing that she wore all the time until it literally fell apart. So why would she buy clothing that was too small? That's because a certain audience of people, they like seeing people get to a really big size and have trouble fitting into their clothes, and the clothes are too tight. And many of the items that she got for the newest haul were indeed too tight for her. So was that a case of that was all she could find in her size? Or did she do it on purpose to try to cater to that audience of people? Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. But going back to this tweet from Michael B. Petty, I'm going to watch the video, and I'll be able to tell right off if she's exaggerating her gestures, if they're honest and real. We're going to find out. We'll see. All right, this is an older foodie clip from Meandering Thoughts. Meandering Thoughts says, Foodie Beauty, she wouldn't send a Tinder guy money, knows what Molly Wally is. Days later, she doesn't. This is from December the 5th, 2020. After that came Natter and now Salah, but she would never fall for a scammer. Cancer Warrior says, we have all asked ourselves the same question about your situation. What I love is that this solidified what we knew and know. It also came straight from your mouth. So this has to do with men contacting her and her views on that. So let's watch the clip.
Like apps. And honestly, I'm weary because, like, I would get likes from men who I was like, they look like models. They don't look like real. like they look like catfish. Like, Um,
A little interesting tidbit I want to throw in here. Foodie herself has confessed to catfishing people in the past. Yeah, she did that. She's catfished people. She's done it. That's why she's literally being done to her.
or their profile says, love hiking. And I'm like a super fit guy. Like, what would you have? Why the heck would you have give me any time of day? Really? Like, do I look like I like taking long hikes in the park? You know? Um, so it just raised some red flags. To the point where I honestly don't think I really trust anybody online.
Imagine that. One of YouTube's biggest scammers and grifters and liars, not trusting anybody. She doesn't want anybody doing to her what she's done to other people or what she does to other people. But as far as men who are slim, attractive, athletic, contacting you, uh, that is to say, you know, women who are overweight doesn't mean they're automatically ugly. You know, you can be a queen at any size, you can be a king at any size. But then you look at the other factors that are associated with you, foodie. Now, I don't think your size is the biggest problem. It's about you as a person, the sum of your parts. You're gross, you're vulgar, you're dirty, you're unhygienic, you're practically feral. You act worse than the animals that are in the forests. You know, you have a bad reputation, you're rude, you're inconsiderate, you're narcissistic, egotistical, insecure, jealous. You know, because of all those qualities, I would think any man would want to run away from you. So if you're looking at yourself and saying, "Oh, it's just because of my size, and these why these men would never be attracted to me." No, it's the sum of all of your parts, all of them put together, not just one single solitary thing. If you were a woman of a bigger size and you carried yourself extremely well, I would understand men of any size wanting to talk to you. But you are not a woman that a man could be proud of, nor proud to be seen with, nor proud to be associated with. Why would any man want to be associated with you? So you're saying all this stuff, and it was what, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and you had your doubts. And yet you went straight for Salah, and you were in a rush to get in a relationship with Salah, even though he's much more athletic than you. He's able to go out and do things. You dove headfirst into that situation anyway because he was aesthetically pleasing to you. With you, it's all about the optics, the eye candy, whether it makes sense or not. You still want that eye candy. You want to be able to look at the rest of the world and say, "Look what I have." Well, what exactly do you have? A man that can't stand you, a man that does not love you, a man that's not into you at all emotionally. He's very hands off with you in every way. But as long as he's eye candy and as long as he's nice to you, you'll deal with that. And so you have. All he has to do is fake love me, you said. Well, fake love, as I'm sure you can imagine, is very expensive, but real love is free. So there's that clip. And see if there's any more. All right, so that's pretty much it for everything on Twitter. There wasn't much that I found that had to do with the food video that she did. Let's move on to the clip itself. And I looked at the comment section. The comment section, I guess, was full of supportive comments. So obviously, Chantal is editing the comments. You know, she seems to be doing that these days. Rather than fighting with people in the comment section, she will only keep the positive ones. But let's watch the clip together, shall we? Let's do this.
This, I've never, I don't know, I'm excited to try this because we don't have Arby's here, but they have a cheddar beef sandwich, Arby's style, at
I thought she hated Arby's. Didn't she say she didn't like Arby's? Weird.
from there. So I'm so excited to try that. Okay, and I have a decoration here. Hey, we try.
Hi, Jesus.
Still not getting the ketchup from the fridge. They didn't give us ketchup. Okay, so let's try this beauty bite. You have the beef curtain sandwich.
Uh, no, she did not just say that. Why? Okay. Okay. So you had an occasion with Dee Dee and with Natter. You told us all about how that traumatized you, how you hated the experience, and yet you're going to eat a sandwich that may remind you of that situation. Even call it the beef flaps, and you're going to eat that and not feel a certain kind of way. Okay, Chantal, Miss Fake Phony Victim. Next.
Dip and more cheese sauce. Mmm. Their cheese sauce is so good. Yeah, it tastes like Arby's. Anyway. Mm-mm.
My apologies to anybody that has to watch her eat with me.
Come. Ow. Ow. I am super excited about something.
Oh, yeah? Tell us what it is. I'm dying to hear.
I have gone down an obsessive rabbit hole. Jalapeno pepper. Mmm. The eye roll.
Chantal, can you do me a favor? Oh, there's the eye cross. There we go. I missed it. I'm going to go back and watch it carefully. But can I ask a favor, Chantal? That when you do these videos, if you want to tell us about something, can you just talk for 5 minutes, then eat something? Don't just cut yourself off after the third word. It's really annoying. But let me go back and see this exaggerated moment again.
Cool. Jalapeno pepper. Mmm.
Okay, now that was exaggerated. Since when have we seen Chantal roll her eyes at a jalapeno popper? I would understand if it were something like Starbucks or a piece of cake or something, because then she's getting that sugar rush, that boom moment to the brain. But a jalapeno popper, no, you're putting it on for the camera. That's for a certain crowd of people that you're trying to get back on your channel.
The eye roll.
See? Yeah, she's faking it.
When I roll my eyes and go cross-eyed, it's good.
It's not that good. Girlfriend, it's Arby's. It's Hardee's. It's fast food. What do you mean? It's not that good. I'm not throwing shade at Hardee's, okay? I don't really eat there. But it's not that good. It's fast food, for God's sake.
Those are not real flowers, by the way. They're fake. So, I've been wanting to plan a trip to Disney World in Orlando because it's the closest one to me in Canada.
Y'all know that's my stomping grounds, right? I grew up in Florida, not in Orlando. I grew up in Tampa. But I've been to Orlando, and I've been to Disney World in Orlando. And the first thought that comes to my mind with Chantal and Disney World is lots and lots and lots and lots of walking. It is a huge property. It is spread out. Miss Mama can't even walk for 2 minutes. How in the world is she going to deal with Disney World and all the walking that you have to do around the park? Also, what rides is she going to ride comfortably? I mean, yes, Disney World, they have the bigger rides and the bigger seats, absolutely. But then you got to figure in the other elements to Disney World, elements that she's not going to like kids running around screaming. She doesn't like kids. And she's got a special hatred in her heart for anybody who is a mother. Also, she doesn't like other women. So, how is she going to deal going to a place where she's got to do a lot of walking? And I mean a lot of it. And it's probably going to be a nice day outside. It's going to be hot. There's kids running around screaming, having a good time, mothers and fathers with their families, and seeing other women and other people seeing how she really looks. Not how we see her on camera, but with the filters. She's not comfortable being around people and them seeing how she really looks. She doesn't like people looking at her. So, how is she going to deal with that kind of environment with all those factors?
These are so good. Forever. Because I did go as a kid.
You know, I have to wonder if we're talking about this Disney World trip. Two things come to mind. First thing is, Chantal's a bit of a dreamer. We all know that. She's talked in the past about many different things that she wanted to do, that she was supposedly planning to do, like going to the weekend concert. She talked about that. I'm going to go see the weekend, she said. I'm going to get the VIP tickets, she said. I'm going to meet the weekend. That never happened. She talked about Eurobeasing extensively, got everybody excited to go to Europe with her. That never happened. Then she talked about going to Jamaica and everything in Jamaica. That never happened. She did shock us by going to Cuba. We never thought she'd do it just because she talked about other things that never occurred. She went there, but even when she went to Cuba, she stayed on the resort. She went down the ocean a couple of times. And then the equivalent of her trip was going back and forth from her room to the buffet area until the trip was over. So she really didn't see much of Cuba. She stayed on the resort and ate and raged about Natter and Dee Dee, and that was it. So here she is talking about Disney World. She can talk about it because talking about it does not mean you actually have to do it. There's no effort involved. She just needs something to talk about while she's in Kuwait, and she's run out of topics. So talking about something, Chantal, doesn't mean it's going to make it happen. But I'm also wondering if you're talking about this Disney trip because Salah wants to travel. He wants to go to the States. He wants to go to Canada. And maybe he's getting antsy because he's stuck in the house with you and he doesn't want to be. Are you like in a way teasing Salah with the idea of leaving Kuwait? Well, you can do that, but you can only get away with that for so long before he figures out you're a liar.
And they just have so much food. Yummy food. Fun looking rides.
Oh, for Pete's sake. So she's going to go to Disney World and eat all the Disney food. Well, you're going to have fun, Chantal. You're going to have lots of fun at Disney World because that food is all spread out. It's not just in a big buffet area. To find all the food, you're going to have to do some walking. Are you ready for that? I don't think you are.
I want to ride Haunted Mansion about a million times.
I can see Chantal right now. I can already picture it. Let's just say she did make it to Disney World. but she made the flight from Kuwait to Florida to go to Disney World, managed to get through the airport, find a hotel room. Can you imagine Chantal at Disney World? She's Miss Impatient over there. She doesn't like waiting in line. She would have to wait in line for some of the rides. And she would get antsy and she would get tired and hot and grumpy and grimy and just rude in those lines. She'd be a nightmare. Can you imagine Salah at Disney with her? He would be miserable. She would turn a happy visit into something completely unhappy for him. And no, I don't feel bad for him. I don't. You signed on to this, Salah. You did. Anywhere you go with this woman, whether it's Disney World, whether it's Thailand, whether it's anywhere, she's not going to be able to let you be happy. If she's not happy, then you're not going to be happy. Trust me. Misery loves company. If she's miserable, you got to be miserable with her. She's not that understanding female that she's going to sit in her room and say, hey, I know I can't go have fun. I know that my mobility is not so great. You go out, you have fun, and enjoy yourself. She's not that one. If she sits alone in a room, she wants someone to sit in a room with her. And if you're out having fun, she's going to wonder what you're up to, what you're doing, who you're talking to. She's going to be blowing up your doggone phone the entire time to where you cannot enjoy yourself. But she would be a nightmare at Disney World. She wouldn't even make it past the parking lot. She'd be sitting in the parking lot saying, I'm hot, I'm tired, can we go? I want to go back to the room and have a Nashi. That would be Chantal. That's as close to Disney World as she would ever get.
So good. And I'm so elated to see, I typed in the search, going to Disney World as an obese person. In the Disney vernacular, I saw one vlogger call it.
Chantal, I'm going to say something. You like to swerve in and out of lanes. 1 minute, you're calling out the reactors and saying that we pick on you because of your size. At the same time that you do that, you're over there making your size something of a topic for your videos and for your live streams. You want to capitalize on your size. You can't seem to pick a lane and stay in it, you see? Like you just said, the title for that video, if you went to Disney World, which will never happen, is an obese person at Disney World versus Chantal at Disney World. You want to make sure to put the fact that you're a bigger woman in the title. You want to capitalize on how big you are. You want to capitalize on the food that you eat and how big that it's making you. At the same time, you don't want anybody else to comment on it. It's just, you got some weird perimeters, ma'am. Very weird.
One blogger called it poo size. So, Winnie the Pooh size. Apparently Disney World is super plus size friendly and their rides don't have weight limits. And a lot of plus size people, like one girl I was reading about, she's my size exactly.
Okay. I don't know this person. I have nothing to say about her that's bad, because I don't know her. She is a bigger lady. She is very tall. But even still, her size and your size are different, Chantal. You have a very big abdomen. I don't know if that would make it more hard for you to ride the rides. But even if it weren't, again, what about all the other factors? The fact that you have to walk all the way around Disney World to get to those rides. The fact that there are children everywhere and you get irritated by children and by families. The fact that you don't like other women, you're very insecure and jealous around other women, especially if they're of a smaller size. You're especially jealous about that. Uh, just you wouldn't have a good time. You really wouldn't have a good time. Your lack of mobility, your jealousy, your insecurity, your dislike of children and families, you would not have a good time in a place that is essentially designed for the fun and entertainment of families.
In clothes, and she's apple shaped, and she's actually even taller than me. Um, so where legroom is concerned, she had more of a problem. But me, I'm short. So anyway, so you can like I want to go to Magic Kingdom and Epcot and Universal Studios. I'm not really into Animal Kingdom, to be honest, but I just feel like once you've been to a zoo, you've seen it all. You know, you've been to a few zoos. So now,
And I thought you liked going to zoos. I mean, Salah's taken you to a lot of the smaller animal zoos and you seem to love it. So what happened?
being plus size can be challenging, right? Because Disney, at least you're going to walk an average of like 8 to 10 miles in a
Right.
day there,
Mm-hmm.
from what I read.
Yep. So how are you going to do that? Because walking for 2 minutes is a struggle for you. So if you can't walk for 2 minutes without your back hurting a lot and your knees hurting, how are you going to make 8 to 10 miles? You're not even getting started with that. You're not even practicing walking where you are. You're not working out in your home. You're not building up your stamina. So how are you going to deal with a huge place like Disney World?
You can challenge yourself to do the walk.
Look, I've gone to Disney World before. Everybody goes to Disney World at least once or wants to. I've been to Disney World before, and just me being at a smaller size than Foodie, it's a workout. Like it'll wear you out walking around that much. You get tired. So I can only imagine what she's going to be going through.
Or I was watching some bloggers who rented scooters. Let's try their chicken burger. Eat a bite.
By the way, Salah, I know you're in the background as I heard you earlier. So this one in front of me is talking about going to Disney World. At the same time, she's going to town on not one, but two huge sandwiches and some curly fries and soda. Dude, read the room. Does it seem like that she's serious about going to Disney World? Does it seem like she's serious about losing weight? She's not. The vlog that she did where you were basically standing on top of the couch to get a taller angle from above to make her smaller. Listen, she's not serious about losing weight. She's not serious about her health. She just isn't. She employs every trick that she could think of to make herself seem smaller and healthier. But the one thing that she does not do is fix the problem. She's just trying to hide and disguise the problem. But if she's in a state where she's unhealthy, to the point where it'd be dangerous for her to fly, and she can't walk around, then she's not going to be that person that she's going to travel with you and have fun with you. She's going to be that one that's going to basically hold you back from enjoying life. Although you co-signed on this crap, like you entered into some kind of agreement with Foodie. You're okay with this crap. But I mean, let's look at the real optics here. She's talking about traveling at the same time she's downing thousands of calories in front of the camera. Like, what she's talking about is a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. It just isn't. The trip that she's planning with you is going to be in 3 months. What do you think is going to happen in that 3 months? She's going to gain more weight. She's going to be more unhealthy. She might even become bedbound. And no, I'm not wishing that upon Foodie. I'm just being real. She's really close to being bedbound. So how can somebody who's bedbound travel? Honestly, they can't. Salah's going to figure it out one day, I guess. But he's co-signing on this crap, so I can't feel bad for him.
Legit. Hardee's always has good deals here, like buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free meal. So you get a chicken burger or a burger with...
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of her buying the fast food and saying this is such a good deal. Do you know why you're getting good deals, Foodie, on fast food? You're getting a good deal because it's junk food. It's not healthy food. There's no nutrition in it. It's processed. There's no vitamins or minerals. It's just junk. Junk is always cheap. The good stuff is always a little bit more expensive because it's real food. Don't sit there and try to justify your overeating or bad eating by saying it's a good deal and that's why I did it. No, you like fast food, even though fast food is the worst thing for you. Everybody has a little bit of fast food every now and again. Nothing wrong with that, but that's your entire diet. It's a good deal because it's junk. It's garbage for your system. Absolute garbage. So you may be getting a good deal financially on the food, or should I call it a food-like product? Because that's what it is. It's not real food. It's a food-like product. It looks like food. It tastes like food, but it's not in any way nourishing at all. You eat it, and an hour later, you're hungry for more later. Fast food is designed to just be something that you get in your stomach, and your body's still hungry. And so you go out and get more and more and more and more and more. You put yourself on a hamster wheel with that stuff. So you may save a few pennies on this food-like product now, but the real bill comes later in the form of health problems and lack of mobility. And it's one that we all have to pay later.
Fries and a drink. 2 of the meals were like 2 KD and something, which is like less than $8 or like $8 or something like that. That's a pretty good deal nowadays. So you can either show up at Disney early because their scooters sell up fast and rent a scooter from them directly for like $70 a day plus a $20 deposit, or
I'm curious about something. Y'all give me just a minute. I'm wondering something. I'm just curious. Because Foodie had a problem with the Costco scooter. Y'all remember? So I'm just, okay. I'm looking to see if there's a weight limit on the scooters at Disney World. She went to Costco and we all heard what happened with the scooter. It was squeaking because she was entirely too big for that scooter. And it was struggling. And then when she did the vehicle in the desert, it could barely move. So just out of curiosity, I looked to see if there was a weight limit on the scooter. And it's saying the maximum weight is 450 pounds. ECVs are not designed to hold more than one person. You are welcome to bring and use your own ECV throughout Walt Disney World Resort. So, foodie, if you are over 450 pounds, which I think you are, I think you're somewhere in the neighborhood of 525, 550, you're over the weight limit for that scooter. And if you try to get on one of those scooters, you might potentially break it or cause it to break down. So if the thinking and the planning is you're going to use a scooter for Walt Disney World, know that on those vehicles, there is a weight limit and you're probably over it even now. So you might want to get started with the losing of the weight before you go to Disney World.
No. There's companies very close by that you can rent one from cheaper even. And they deliver to your hotel.
And I bet she's not even checking into what are the weight limit for those scooters. She just gets on one and expects it to carry her weight. All mechanical vehicles have a weight limit, even cars. A lot of cars have a weight limit, and you have to distribute the weight evenly throughout the car. So have you checked on that, foodie, what the weight limit for a scooter would be? I don't think you have.
And I'm excited because the thing holding me back
Is you.
from doing anything
Is
is
you.
always my weight. Always thinking, I'm going to wait till I lose weight to do this. I'm going to lose weight to do this. Like, losing weight, everyone, like, there's so many obese people in the world. If it were that easy, no one would be overweight, right? So battling weight issues.
You know, speaking about that for just a second, not all obese people have issues with food. Sometimes obesity could be a medical problem. Could be something wrong with the thyroid. Could be something wrong physically. Maybe it's due to an injury and not being able to move. Not all obesity is attributed to an extreme problem with food.
Could take years. So you're not supposed to live your life until you're at a certain weight. No. You find ways to make your trip plus size friendly for yourself. You know what I mean? So
And this is where I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for you, Chantal, because you are in a very unique position where a lot of people who might struggle with their weight or struggle with eating problems, they are lacking in certain things. They're lacking in money. They're lacking in resources. They might be lacking in knowledge. They might be lacking in help. You're in a position where you're on YouTube and you're making a sizable amount of money. Not tremendously so anymore, but still. You have enough money to where anything you want, anything you need to get healthy, you have access to, or you can get. You're on the internet. You have access to information. If you really want to get healthy, you could reach out to people who would help you and give you advice. You have access to maybe getting therapy. You're not doing any of that. So the resources and the tools and the information and even time, you've got plenty of time. You don't have a regular job that you're committed to. And then whatever leftover time from your day, then you could spend on working on yourself. You can work on yourself literally all day. You decide your own schedule. You don't have an excuse for being the way that you are other than this is what you want to do. And you've justified what you're doing by saying, well, I'm on YouTube and this is my content. This is what people pay me for. Sometimes, even if you can do something, it doesn't mean you should. And if you're doing something where you're hurting yourself and you know you're hurting yourself, you should not look for people to back that up. You should look at yourself and value yourself and say, I come first, my health comes first, and that's what matters. I need to put that as priority rather than a YouTube paycheck. But you're choosing a paycheck over your health. You trade 100% of your health to make a certain audience of people happy, to keep them coming to your channel, even though, to be honest, they don't care about you. They care about you fulfilling their particular interest. Beyond that, they don't care. They don't care about your health problems. They don't care about any suffering you might have. They care about you fulfilling something that they like. And that's as far as it goes. And if you're not on YouTube doing it, they'll find somebody else who will. And if that person's not there, they'll pick somebody else. So they really don't care about you. They care about what you can give them. But you cannot say, I can't do it. It's impossible. It's not impossible. A lot of people have turned their health around. You're just making the choice every day not to do so.
I have a new attitude about traveling. I know people are saying, like, I even said that myself. I'm like, I have an incentive for losing weight. I'm going to use travel as an incentive. Well,
you already have incentive. According to you, the Western world was so evil. You found more peace while being in Kuwait. You went to Kuwait and you're closer to Allah. You have a husband, right? Husband. You've got your cat. You've got your pet hamster. You designed this life and you told us this was the happy life. So why can't any of that be an incentive? Why is it not an incentive? You're more miserable than you've ever been. You're more frustrated than you've ever been, and it shows. So you're saying, I want traveling to be the incentive. What about the life you have around you right now? Is that not enough? Is it not happy enough? If it isn't, just remember, this is what you wanted, this is what you paid for, and this is what you signed up for. So if you're not happy, it's your fault.
I'm still going to try to work on myself, but at the same time, I'm still going to travel. I'm still going to live my life.
You're not living, though, because you can go to a different location, but the misery is going to follow you because the misery is you. Wherever you go, there you are, and then happiness will follow. You can go to Thailand, you can go to Europe, you can go to Cuba, you can go wherever you want. But you're a miserable person. And so whoever's along for the ride, they're going to be miserable too. You're not going to take steps to make yourself happier, make yourself healthier, to wherever you go, you can actually enjoy it. You're just going to go to a location, find a room, shack up there, order fast food, and call it a day. Not exactly what I would call happy traveling.
Hardee's is not playing with that chicken sandwich. Is that a cool saying? Not playing. I'm a poser. So, I mean, why should we be left out of things just because we struggle with food? We have bigger appetites. We eat more. We weigh more. We have different body shapes. Nah, fam. Is that another cool saying?
I could see her going to Disney World if Salah is with her. The moment he starts looking around at the other women in the park, whether they're looking at him or not, if they're of a smaller size, she would go into a rage instantly. There Chantal will be at Disney World. She's walking around barely, tired, hot, exhausted. You know Salah's going to be peeking at the other women to see how they look, getting a gander at them. Maybe not rubbernecking, but he would still be looking. And Chantal would get jealous. Jealous. Woo! It'd be the blow up of all times. She'd be so angry looking at other people walking around. And let me tell you, Florida is hot. And people that are in Florida, when it's hot like that, they don't wear much. Not saying they walk around half naked, but they'll wear the tube tops, the bikini tops, the little short dresses. They're going to be dressed comfortably for the weather, showing a little bit of skin here and there. It's going to make Chantal angry, angry, angry. If even one attractive woman walks by her in Salah, she's going to lose her mind. So imagine a park full of people, children, husbands, wives, families, potentially young, pretty girls walking by her in Salah. Whoo! It's not going to be pretty, y'all, I'm telling you.
I like knowing that Disney is inclusive like that. So, that's a good option for in the future. Beef and cheddar fix.
You know how I can tell she's not liking this food? Because she says, oh, it's so delicious. You know how I can tell she's not really digging the food as much? You can always tell by the speed in which she eats something. If she goes to town on it and it's gone in 3 bites, she really loved it. If it's taken her a little while to eat it, it means she didn't love it so much. She'll eat it to eat it because it's there, but it's not something she really, really digs. So this Hardee's meal, she really wasn't liking it too much.
This is some good food.
Like she's taking her time eating this. That's not like her.
So fresh.
Oh, please, it's processed. How can processed food be fresh? How can processed food be fresh? Somebody please explain that to me. Girl, it's a bun with some toppings and some Arby's roast beef stuff, whatever that is. It's all processed. It's not from farm to table. Or do you consider food fresh out of a microwave fresh? Is that your idea of fresh?
I mean, when I do travel to places, I'll be sure to share some tips so that any fellow plus size beezers know what to expect or what could be helpful for them traveling as plus size people.
Well, here's tip number 1 for you, Chantal. If you are someone and you are a bigger size and you have to fly, make sure you get the right number of seats. Don't do like Chantal has done in the past and only get 1 seat because you're counting on somebody not sitting next to you, trying to finagle a free seat. Whatever your size may be, take that into account when you travel. Make sure that you can travel safely and have a good time. The last time Chantal traveled, she tried getting just 1 seat, and then the flight that she was on was delayed by 45 minutes because she was inconsiderate and rude and didn't do what she needed to do. So whoever you are, whatever size you are, do what you need to do to travel safely and have a good time.
Because it can be stressful. I love planning trips. Right down to which booths are going to be accommodating at restaurants. I really want to eat at Be Our Guest Looks so fun. What's awesome about being a vlogger and a content creator?
I wouldn't call you a vlogger and I wouldn't call you a content creator. I really wouldn't. Just because you sit down and do a video of yourself eating, that I wouldn't consider that content. I would consider that the actions of somebody who's lazy, who lacks imagination, who lacks creativity, and you're doing the bare basic minimum to get paid on YouTube. But don't consider yourself a vlogger, because you're not entertaining with your vlogs. And you're not entertaining with your content either.
Is the fact that you get to vacation, you get to travel, and you can consider it a business trip.
Okay, a word about that. So this is the same rhetoric that she told us back in Canada. She got on camera and she said that it was great, her being on YouTube, and she could sit down and eat a meal and then write it off on her taxes. Well, then we found out that she wasn't paying her taxes. If she had been paying her taxes and keeping her receipts, maybe she would have been able to write off the food that she ate. Might have been a tax write-off, but she didn't pay her freaking taxes. She had not one but two bankruptcies, and she ran from those in Canada, and she ran all the way to Kuwait to get away from the tax man. So now here she is trying to say, oh, it's so great, and you're a travel vlogger, you can write that off. Not if you have bankruptcies, not if you're not paying the tax man, Chantal. You better get on it. You better do some adulting.
Because if you're getting paid and that's how you make your money, that's your business, fam. Am I a poser? Yes. So, I mean, if you got a camera phone and you got the courage to put yourself on camera, not even put yourself on camera, you could vlog, first person perspective. I would encourage you to give it a try. It's fun.
No one take business advice from this woman. Please, nobody take advice from Chantal. This woman is a walking cautionary tale of why it's a bad idea to live your life in excess with no rules and no restrictions. She's a cautionary tale of why it's a bad idea to get on YouTube and lose the plot and get immersed in a character and forget about yourself as a person. She's a cautionary tale of being a person and doing the kind of content that there's so much out there of her already that if YouTube were not a thing with her and she had to go out into the regular world and get a regular job, nobody would want to hire her. There are always repercussions to one's actions and words. She's put herself in a place where she had the attitude of, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm never going to suffer any repercussions for my actions. I'm never going to take full accountability, and nothing's going to ever catch up with me. Well, a lot of things have caught up with her, because now she's in that teeny tiny corner in Kuwait and she literally cannot get out. She's with a man that doesn't love her. She has nowhere else to go. Absolutely nowhere else. If she went back to Canada, nobody would take her in. Her family wouldn't want her at their houses. If she flew back to Canada, she'd fly back alone and be stuck in a motel room and vlogging from there. And she'd be surrounded by all her temptations and unable to resist. But nobody take advice from this one. Her life is a complete mess. And the content that she does, if we're going to be real about it now, what she's doing on YouTube is self-harm content. She is hurting herself, and she's putting it in the public eye, and she expects to get paid for it. She's looking for people to support her in what she's doing. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it to hurt yourself for money.
It's rewarding sharing, your experiences.
But you have none. You don't really have experiences though, Chantal. You're so lacking in experiences that you talk about the same subjects over and over and over and over again, and the same people over and over and over again. You tell us stories from your past because that was the last time you actually had a life. But there's nothing recent to talk about. You've been in Kuwait for 6 months. We have yet to hear you talk about the fun times you spent shopping with other women, doing things with other women, the activities, the gossip, the conversation. You don't spend time with anybody. You don't do anything but eat and be miserable. And you're bored silly with it all, and yet you won't leave it.
So if by the time I get to go to Disney World, and I don't think I could do the 10 miles
No,
in the park,
no.
I'm renting a scooter.
Good
And
luck
I'm
with
going to
that.
scoot my way.
Good luck with that. You just said a few minutes ago that you have to get there early to get a scooter. Can anybody see Chantal getting up early in the morning to get to Disney World? Just to get access to one scooter that may not work for her anyway because there is a weight limit. And if she's over the weight limit, it may not work anyhow. But can anybody see her getting up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning to go to Disney? Salah has even said with Chantal, he tries to wake her up and she'll say, just give me 30 more minutes. And then 30 more minutes turns into 4 hours. So I can't see her getting up early in the morning to go to Disney World. And if she tries that thing where she's up all night just to be up early in the morning, that means she's going to be going with no sleep, exhausted, tired, cranky, just to get a freaking scooter. No, it ain't going to happen.
All around that park. I'm going to scoot my way to Haunted Mansion. I'm going to scoot my way to Be Our Guest.
No, I'm not being mean here. I'm just being realistic. I don't know what her weight is these days. My guess is that she's well over 500 pounds. She's put on a lot of weight since being in Kuwait. But if this trip is going to happen in a few months, with her eating the way that she's eating, she's going to gain even more weight. So is she going to be able to safely travel at that weight, whatever it is? She does have health problems. She's got heart problems. She's got an enlarged heart. She's had blood clots in her lungs. That might make it dangerous for her to fly. Never mind walking around Disney World or being there in the heat. You keep eating like this, Chantal, you'll put on even more weight. So will you be able to make the trip at that weight safely?
I'm gonna scoop, 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 scoop. I'm so hyper. What the heck is wrong with me? Anyway, I'm super hungry because I had a nap, and in my nap, I was dreaming like a very vivid dream, very vivid. I was running a marathon,
Yeah, that's definitely a dream.
so I woke up hungry. But yeah, if you have any tips for Disney, comment below. Always.
I'm not going to comment below. I don't get in your comment section, but my advice to you is if you want to go on this trip, start taking care of your health. Get a grip on all this eating of fast food. Stop catering to a certain audience of people in your audience that want to see you eat. Start to get your weight under control. Then you could safely travel. That's my tip. If your weight is an issue, if you're concerned about it, if you're embarrassed about it, if it's becoming more and more of an issue as far as your traveling and your mobility, the healthier you are, the more you can enjoy where you're going.
is appreciated. I went down the rabbit hole of watching all these vlogs. Very pretty girls too, just like overweight and have mobility issues, or just don't think that they could do, because Disney has a lot of walking. Okay, I walked around Hawaii Park. If you haven't seen that video, check it out on our couples channel, which is a smaller amusement park. But 10 miles, I want to be very comfortable and not just.
Oh, by the way, Chantal, if you and Salah might be thinking that there'd be less people at night at Disney, think again. Because I've been to Disney. There are just as many people Disney at night than there is in the daytime. So thinking that Disney is going to be completely deserted so you can walk around and just get to the front of the line of every ride right away, or there's going to be less people, wrong. Wrong. There's going to be people whether it's day or night.
That, but it's very hot in Orlando. And it's like a humid.
It's Florida, for freak's sake. It's Florida. Florida is hot, mama. It is humid. I used to live there. I grew up there. That's my stomping grounds. I'm a Florida kid. Yes. Before I came to Washington with all the pollen. Doggone it. Freaking pollen. Doggone pollen here. Anyway, I grew up there. I love Florida. It's my home. It's hot. It's humid. Let me tell you something, Big Mama. You think desert heat is hot? You think it's uncomfortable? Let me tell you a few things about humid heat. You feel like you're walking around in a sauna. You feel sticky. You feel yucky. You can take a shower and go outside and feel yucky in 5 minutes. And you want to walk around there in all that humidity? and you're from Canada. Yeah, good luck with that.
Heat there, isn't it? Here it's a dry heat, it's desert.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm thinking like I want to travel, but I'm still struggling with my weight. But
another thing, Chantal, since it is Florida, and in my opinion, this is just me talking. To me, Florida is just an island connected on one side to land. But it's like you got the island vibe a little bit. There's a lot of beaches there. A lot of people walking around in flip-flops and bikinis, and it is hot, okay? There's a lot of places near the water. There's water everywhere you go in Florida. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with young, pretty girls walking by Salah? Beautiful beautiful women in Florida. Not saying there's not beautiful women everywhere else, because there is. I've seen some gorgeous women in different places. But how are you going to deal with that? You hate him even side-eyeing a girl. And there's going to be beautiful women everywhere in Florida. You will not deal with it well.
Maybe. Oh, my cat scared me. Where did you come from? Where? Oh no, I better not make eye contact. She's gonna go. You are an exact melange of Sam and BBJ, I swear. Hi. Yeah, I made eye contact.
Yeah, but Julia doesn't like you. Sam and BBJ loved you. Don't know why they did, but they did. You didn't deserve their love. You were a bad pet owner. You were neglectful. Shame on you. But that cat, Julia, does not like you. She does not, and I don't blame her. You're horrible. Animals can pick up on horrible people. She doesn't like you. I'm sure it kills you that she likes slob more than you. I'm sure that burns your butt. You're rejected by your husband. You're rejected by your cat.
Oh, wow. Here. She hears the bubbles in the soda can. Yes. So, what was I saying?
Nothing
I
important.
just rambled.
Yeah, you're rambling. As usual. Because you ain't got nothing new to talk about. Miss World Traveler.
Yeah. So, hi. You like cheese sauce or what do you want? No, you don't like any of these things because they're bad for you.
Oh, they're bad for you too, but you're eating them.
Ah. The heck? Anyway. When I was about 10, my grandfather treated us, my mom and I, my sister wasn't born yet. I feel old. To Disney.
Can I just say something about her trip to Disney? And this is not to put down anybody who goes to Disney, no matter what your age is. I just think that Disney World is kind of a weird choice for a newlywed couple who haven't really gone anywhere with each other or done anything romantic. I think Disney World is kind of a weird choice to pick as the first big place that they go together. Why not pick somewhere romantic? Why not do that? And I know the obvious answer is because he doesn't love her and he's not really romantic with her. And you would be right saying that. But it's just weird that Chantal is like, she wants to go to Disney World, a place where she would have trouble walking around, doing things. It's a lot of it is designed for kids. The first big place you go with your supposed husband, it's not something just like honeymoon-ish, couple-ish, romantic-ish. It's somewhere like that revolves around the amusement park kid kind of vibe. I just think it's odd.
Florida trip. I remember the hotel. I remember the hotel having little lizards. And I was like traumatized because my grandfather hated lizards. Okay, enough for you. You don't want to get poo-poos. No.
You know, she's always getting on to Julia for trying to get at her food, but yet, Chantal, you just sit there and let her eat off your fast food. You're promoting that habit. And you then you get mad at her later for coming at your fast food. So, you know, you're teaching her what's okay and what's not okay.
No. And pretty angels.
And the only time Julia likes Chantal is when she gives her food. Hence why Chantal probably does it.
He would try to take his slipper and go, "Get out of here, bud! Get out of here, bud!" But Epcot was so boring as a kid. I mean, I didn't care. I wanted Universal Studios so bad. And I never got to go to Universal, so I want to do that.
So what are you trying to do? Kind of recreate your childhood? Something from your childhood? Because you and your family went long, long, long ago. You're trying to recreate a memory? Makes me wonder if you're really homesick for Canada, Chantal. You really want to go back, don't you? Like you've been dropping all kinds of little clues and Easter eggs that you want to go home. But Florida's not your home, Canada is. So why are you longing for Florida? I think I can speak for all people who live in Florida. Stay out of my home state. Don't go there. Don't go to Florida. Leave Florida alone.
But we went to Magic Kingdom.
Dropping food on herself. Y'all see that? See this white thing? Dropping food on herself.
And I wore a fanny pack. I went on Space Mountain.
Like, remember what I said earlier? Like, she doesn't have anything new to tell us. No new experiences of just being in Kuwait, being around people. Everything she talks about is from her very distant past. That gives you an idea of how unhappy she is, how lacking in life she is. It's never anything new or interesting. It's always stuff from her childhood, stuff from when she was a teen. You know, like her life stopped after a certain point.
I remember being super cool and dark. And they were building. I know it's a lot of food, but like I said, I ran a marathon in my dream.
Well, that didn't burn any calories.
It made me hungry.
Everything makes you hungry. So this is your way of justifying it. Oh, I had a dream about running a marathon, so therefore I have to eat a lot of fast food. Because in my dream, I burned about 20 million calories. You know what? I'm done with her eating. This is gross. It is. It's gross. I hate watching her eat. I hate these food vlogs. But she does talk in them. And it provided for an interesting react. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any opinions or thoughts of your own, please put them in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment yourselves. And y'all take care of yourselves today. Bye-bye.